Hi beautiful ladies, welcome back to my channel. So today I want to talk to you about the comments that Miss Netta made. But I wanted to just talk about the importance of protecting your image. This applies to any woman, but more so for any woman who identifies as Black. Now this is not an attack on gay men. There are plenty of gay men who are allies specifically to Black identified women, and even more so, they support Black identified women by divulging secrets and tips about male behavior and psychology so that women, especially as it pertains to dating, can know what to avoid and what to look for, because they're literally offering you a male perspective. Just because a man is gay doesn't mean that he's no longer a man. He is still a man, and so he's therefore very much aware of male behavior. Will tell you the truth about how men in general think and feel about you. There are many gay men on social media who put Black identified women on game, but this is to talk about gay men who like to take or co-opt Black identified women's image and then turn around and disrespect Black identified women.
This is to all the Black African American women. Listen at me and listen at me clearly. If you don't want me coming for you, then just stop fucking coming for me. Okay? And then you want to put it out there, Miss Netta don't like Black women, but that's what she's trying to be. No, it's not. I ain't trying to be no motherfucking Black woman. Because I can say some of the baddest things about some Black ass women that I know. So hell no, I ain't trying to be no Black woman. If that's the case, I want to be a white woman. Because they more smarter. Because y'all sit up, y'all act so damn ignorant and act like y'all don't know how to get shit. And y'all just then you want to sit up and want shit given to you all the damn time. But then you want to cry about it. You know, so don't look at me and don't try to be, belittle me because I get on here and I fuss at you motherfuckers because y'all get on here, y'all do it. Ain't no white women on my page disrespecting me, cussing me out and all up in me and my husband business. Hell no, because they know how to mind their damn business.
Now, I know that Miss Netta or Mrs. Netta identifies as trans, so not trying to misgender her, but the example still applies because a lot of gay men and straight men do these things as a way to try to bully and intimidate Black women. And so it's important to note that, as I've said before many times in other videos, imitation is not a form of flattery. If someone is trying to imitate your image, your look, without acknowledging that you are the source, or downplaying your looks, women do this too, especially. That person is not imitating you because they admire you. They're imitating you because they would like to replace you. And they also want to benefit from the life that they perceive that you have, or the benefits that they perceive that you have. And one of the ways that they think that they can achieve this is if they imitate your image. So it's almost like, I don't want to, it's not like a friend where the friend's like, oh girl, or like an acquaintance who's friendly with you who will say, oh girl, I like that hairstyle that you got, can you put me on to a new hairdresser? I've been trying to find someone who can do my hair nicely like yours, or my nails, or a tailor or somebody. That person, oftentimes when they're trying to imitate you, they're not friendly towards you. So they may make snide remarks, but then end up dressing just like you. Or they may end up doing their hair just like you after giving you a backhanded compliment, or refusing to compliment you at all. Like, you'll be at a social gathering and people say, oh girl, wow, like you look beautiful. Like, you really put that outfit together. That dress was made just for you. Like, it sits perfectly on your body. And then they'll kind of just stand there like looking you up and down with a sour look on their face, and then turn around and emulate some, if not all, aspects of your look. You need to look out for that. I noticed that some gay men do this, whether it's, especially like with the lace fronts thing. Anyone can wear lace fronts, who cares? But they'll do it in a way that we all know is predominantly done by Black identified women. And then kind of just, some of them will, like, you'll see on social media, like, they'll just be disrespectful. And there are some girls in the comments who are just doing the most and like being aggressive towards them. But sometimes, and I'm not gonna call anybody's name on here, but sometimes like you'll see a girl be like, oh, like you did that, like that ate, like look at your hair. And they'll either ignore them or they'll just be rude to them for no reason. And it's like, these are your fans. Like, why are you being aggressive to this person? They're pretty much the ones who put you on and who made you who you are. And you're treating them as if they're bothering you. Like, they're the ones who got you there. And this is a form of aggression, okay? Aggression is how he really feels about you. And especially when he makes comments about your private. Now, I know that Miss Netta did not make comments like that in this clip that I just played. And I don't know if they have in general, but one thing that I notice is that a lot of men, especially gay men, will come for women's private parts and make disparaging comments about the smell, the look, whatever, as a way to automatically humble and tear you down. Okay? I truly believe that vag envy is real. If you've ever heard of like penile envy or like phallic envy, it's the envy of pretty much masculinity, right? What the male genitalia represents. It's supposed to be a sign that if you have that, you automatically benefit from patriarchy and male privilege, such as power, higher wages, and things like that. So that's where that term penile or phallic envy comes from. But I truly believe that there's a such thing as vaginal envy, especially when you were not born female or you're trying to emulate a woman's look. You envy women for being something that you're not. Okay, and again, this is not specific to gay men. People will envy others for many different reasons, especially if you have something that they want and they don't have it. But in this case, I believe that that is something that some gay men have, and they show that frustration for not having the natural femininity by making disparaging comments about women's private parts to make you feel ashamed. Shame is a tactic that people will use to try to humble you and to try to make you feel guilty for having something that they don't have. So I remember when I was in high school, there was this guy, he hadn't yet come out, but anytime he had a falling out with a woman at school, with a girl at school, he would always talk about her private. Like, oh, why don't you go and wash yourself properly? Or why don't you know that I know you're not talking because you stank? And every single time, it didn't matter the girl's race either. Like, he would that was his first line of defense. And then finding out like years later, like when we were all in university, that he came out, and I'm just like, that explains a lot. That aggression that you had back in high school was really just you not willing to live in your truth and not willing to be who you are. And so instead of living in your truth, or at least acknowledging that women are not your enemy, you decided that you would just take the easy way out, if you will, and go after something that and attack something that you actually wish that you had. I'm sure he still does that to this day, but you see that all the time on social media. Women do it to each other because they've bought into that patriarchal mindset that a woman's private part is something that is innately dirty. And so a lot of times when a woman's trying to attack another woman, they will play into patriarchal methods of shaming and silencing women as a way to make that woman envy her womanhood, because womanhood, femininity, is something that has been demonized many times in many different ways throughout history. Yeah, and another thing is that they will try to often downplay your accomplishments. He made a comment like, oh, you black ass women, you always want everything handed to you and you don't want to work for nothing. And he's pretty much saying that you're lazy, which is interesting because even though he or she, even though they are trans, this is a talking point that a lot of black men have. And a lot of women think that it's only straight black men who have this aggression and these sentiments towards black women. But as I've said before, some gay men are like that as well. When the stats and the data out there prove that black identified women are the most educated in the United States, and they are increasingly becoming the leaders in entrepreneurship in the United States as well. So black women are also the breadwinners in their families across various socioeconomic statuses. So the talking point to try to like dismiss black identified women to make it seem as if, we're kind of sitting around doing nothing is false, because the data obviously doesn't support that. That's another thing to look out for. When someone tries to attack you, they will also come for your achievements, try to downplay it. It's almost the equivalent of someone saying like, oh, so-and-so is not that cute, or so-and-so is not that light skinned, or she's not that black, or she's not this and that, trying to diminish and take away from your identity to help appease the inadequacies that they feel about themselves. These are just my 2 cents on the whole Miss Netta case. And so I think that it's important to gatekeep, if you will, or protect your image at the very least. If someone wants to emulate your look and kind of be like you don't need to be in that person's comments hyping them up, regardless of their gender. Let them do their thing. Especially, and a lot of times when people end up emulating your image and trying to be like you, they are never wanting to be friendly with you. You really don't stand to benefit in trying to show this person that, you know, you're a friend and that you come in peace, if you will. Just mind your business, live your best life, and do your own thing. But when people actually come out and show you their true colors and start to disrespect you the way that Miss Netta did, talking about how even if he wanted to be a woman, he'd want to be a white woman. Like, talk about delusional. He could never, ever, ever be a white woman for obvious reasons. Okay. But he's pretty much telling you that your blackness, even though he emulates it, and I'm not even just talking about sharing a phenotype, I'm talking about the ebonics that Black women use, the way that Black women in particular style their hair, the way that Black women in particular style their clothes and their nails. If he really wanted to be a white woman, he would present himself differently, but he chose to present himself the way that a stereotypical quote unquote Black woman would, but then want to turn around and say like, you ain't shit, pretty much, even though he's stealing your image and pretty much profiting off of it by building a name for himself and a brand on social media. So I hope that you take this as a sign to withdraw your support from people like that, who want to benefit from your image and who end up benefiting from your image and disrespecting you, but then turning around and saying, oh, even though I'm emulating your image and profiting off of it, you still ain't shit. That person said what they said and they meant it, and that is their true intention. They often say that people show their true selves when they're angry or when they're drunk. And in this case, he let it be known how he really felt about Black women. And there's been other rants that he's made calling you Black ass women. It's not some sort of ebonics that he's using. He's trying to make you feel ashamed for your phenotype and your skin tone. I don't know if maybe that's something that someone said to him when he was younger to try to make him feel ashamed for his dark complexion, but that man is singing and telling you the truth, and you guys need to listen. Withdraw your support from people like that. Don't tune into their lives. Don't comment. Don't engage on their contents, because that person does not like you and you're just there as a prop to boost their image. Okay? Let me know what you think about this one down below in the comments. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.